Hey everyone, welcome to this week's message for kids and youth from Atkinson Congregational Church. We are the light on the hill where no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome. A very special welcome to those of you who may be clicking in for our weekly message for the first time or the first time in a long time. I'm really glad that you could be with us. My name is Pastor Jim Thomas. I'm the pastor at Atkinson Congregational Church. And this week, I'm thinking a little bit backwards to Christmas and how most of the time at Christmas time, we get to spend time with our family, sometimes our extended family, lots of big gatherings. And a lot of us couldn't do that this year because we stayed home or we stayed inside of our own smaller family or something like that because of all the virus stuff. And I was reminded that how much sitting around a table together and sharing food is an important part of the day. It's a time that we not only get to eat, but we get to talk. We can tell about all the things that happened in our day. We can listen to what other people have to say. Our time at the table, whether it's at school in a cafeteria or with our friends or at home with our family, it's really pleasant if everyone has good table manners. You know what I mean by that? I mean, we learn from our parents that we should sit up straight, chew with our mouth closed, use a napkin, don't put our elbows on the table. There's probably some other rules too that I can't remember right now, but maybe you can. In our country, those manners are part of our dining customs. People in other countries have different dining customs. In the Sudan, which is a region in Africa, people sit on pillows around a low table, and the host pours water from a pitcher over the guest's hands into a basin. The host, the person who's having the dinner, washes everyone's hands by pouring water over them before they eat. In China and Japan, they don't use forks very much. They tend to use chopsticks. I'm actually pretty good with chopsticks. In Spain and Mexico, people sometimes take what's called siestas after they have a big lunch, a midday meal. A siesta is a time when you can sort of relax, and sometimes you get to take naps. I think that's the best thing ever. Lunch, nap. In Korea, one of the customs in Korea about eating is that the oldest person gets to eat first. In Argentina, they dine really late at night. They don't have their dinner or their supper until about 9 o'clock. That's really late. In ancient Greece, people used to recline when they ate. So they had a low table and they actually laid down on the floor, kind of propped up on a pillow, and that's how they ate. There's all sorts of dining customs from all over the world. And when Jesus was walking on the earth with his disciples, there were also specific dining customs then. And Jesus, like he always did, used those sorts of things to help teach about what heaven was like. And in those days, like now, there was always a special place for the person of honor. If you were having a special guest to dinner, they might get the best seat at like the head of the table. It's kind of the same thing as wanting to be the first person in line for something, or maybe having the best seats at a baseball game or something like that. But Jesus, as he often did, turned everything upside down. He told his disciples and the people that were listening to him that day that in the kingdom of heaven, the order is reversed. It's backwards from what we think of it. Those people who care the most about God and are humble, those are the people that are going to get the place of honor. They're going to get the head of the table seat. Jesus said, for everyone who exalts themselves will be humbled. So everybody who lifts themselves up and wants to be first and wants to be ahead of everybody else and is pushing people out of the way so they get to be first, they're going to get humbled. They're going to be sent to the back of the line. And the person who humbles themselves will be exalted, will be lifted up, will be brought to the front of the line. So Jesus teaches us that being first especially at the expense of someone else, is not always best. The lesson Jesus taught reminds us to think of others first, and also, really importantly, that we should put God first. God should be in first place in our lives. And then we let others be first. And then we come. We get closer to the kingdom of heaven when we think a little less about ourselves and making sure that we elbow ourselves to the front and that we help other people get there instead. That's the good news for this week. I'm really glad that you tuned in. Don't forget to make it over to our website. Go over to the place where you find the weekly children's messages with our friends from Go Plus. There's a new message up this week and all the accoutrements to go with it, all the stuff you need. And we'll also be back to Sunday morning worship this Sunday at 10 a.m. And what else is going on? I think that's it for now. I will just say to you that I hope that you have a great week, that your lives are blessed, and that you learn how to eat with chopsticks. No, just kidding about that part. Although it is kind of cool. Have a great week, everyone. Very good to see you. Hope to see you all in person very soon. Bye bye. Blessings to you.